I'm Jade McNeil and welcome to the B Space podcast, your bi-weekly dose of business and property realness. No hype, no fluff, and definitely no BS. Just honest conversations about what it really takes to build something from nothing. Well, hello, lovely people. Welcome to the B Space podcast. On this episode, I really want to reflect. That's the word I'm going to use. I want to reflect. For those of you that follow me online on Instagram, you may have picked up on the fact that we have just wrapped up my most recent mastermind program, which was called Elevate to 8. For those of you that don't know, Elevate to 8 is a 12-month long program that we started in March 2025. And essentially that program was for a group of experienced, already established property developers, investors and business owners that were really looking to kind of go up a gear, elevate what they were doing by creating multiple streams of income connected to their existing operational businesses and portfolios. So yeah, I think in summary, Elevate to 8, I've absolutely just loved the 12 months and the people that have been on the program. One of the big kind of, whenever I create a program of any sort, I always kind of really take months and months to kind of ponder, what it is, what it's about, what value people get from it, how the environment's going to be, what do people want and need, and so on and so forth. And one of the big kind of aspects of Elevate to 8 that I wanted to include, that I've run mastermind programs now for 5 years, so I'm quite experienced at running this sort of thing now. But previously we'd not really focused too much on the social side of the mastermind program. But Elevate to 8 was very much 40% of it was focused around being in London, socializing, having fun, and kind of having a break from the norm. And actually, the value of that for the program has been even more than what I anticipated it to be. We've had some really great experiences, been some lovely places, had lots of fun. Like, people have spent really good quality time together on the social side. In East London, which is just such a vibrant, cool place. So yeah, we've just wrapped the program up, and I can honestly say that I feel like it was a complete success. And chatting to the members on the program, they also gave me such beautiful feedback, and how it's had such a big impact on them. So I thought that in today's episode, I would reflect and, over the past 5 years of running, these high-level masterminds in business and property, when I kind of sit back, when I was on the train home from London, and I kind of think, like, have the common factors of what this type of person, these type of businesses go through, have they evolved over the years? And kind of typically from year to year, what am I seeing reoccurring within the group? And I thought on this episode today, I'd really summarize that, because actually I think it's really interesting, the things that have kind of come from year to year. And hopefully, some of that you'll really resonate with. Also on this episode as well, I'm going to touch at the end a little bit about me and how I'm kind of feeling and what I'm going to focus on with B-Space moving forward. And yeah, there's some little changes afoot, so definitely stay with me so I can tell you all about those. So one of the first things that really jumps to my mind when I reflect on my masterminds over the years and kind of, the benefit of being part of a mastermind program is, it's quite a simple one, really. It's the power of people needing people. And that may sound like kind of cliche, so let me just kind of break it down and go a bit deeper with it. Sometimes as business owners, we spend a lot of time on our own, often in our own heads, when it comes to situations or decisions that we've got to make. And there's nothing more comforting, and I've said this before on the pod and, different speaking things, there's nothing more comforting than being in and around other people that get you, that have been in your shoes / are in your shoes, and can just listen and share what they're going through. And, you know, it does definitely give you some comfort to know that you're not alone with the struggles of navigating, trying to have a level of growth within your business in what has been over the past 5 years, actually, like such crazy uncertain times. And the power of people being with people is like something you can't, like, you can't describe. Like, we all get so immersed in our own everyday trying to make things work that we think our problems are like the biggest problems in the universe, right? I'm sure you've been there as well, like, but then really not. And when you kind of zoom out and spend quality time with other people that are similar to you, it really does kind of show that actually you're quite normal and it's quite standard and to be expected what you're going through. And from that, definitely, you know, you get a comfort. I've seen over the years people get a real comfort out of knowing that they're not the only one that's experienced this, or, you know, let's say we're talking about cash flow issues. Every single one of us has been there with cash flow issues. What we're sharing is, okay, well, how did we combat that? What can we do in the future to make it not as painful? It might be, you know, getting something wrong with HMRC, having to set up a payment plan. It might be getting something wrong on a project that's had a knock-on effect, getting a down vow on a project from a lender, and actually that's going to impact you later on down the line. Or maybe it's a staff member that's gone rogue, or you're recruiting and you just keep interviewing the wrong people and the right person's not coming through the door. Like, these are just such common reoccurring problems. And people need people, because when you talk about that and you share experiences and you realise you're not alone with it, actually it gives you the power and the incentive to keep trudging on, keep soldiering on, should I say, keep soldiering on, because, you know you're not getting it wrong. It's just like, you know, every day we're all going through it. The second thing that I think really comes to mind when I think about the past 5 years of running the Masterminds, typically I'd say 95% of problems, including the ones I've just like listed out, are not location sensitive. So they happen everywhere. You know, what might be happening in Liverpool is happening in Leeds, is happening in Kent, is happening on the coast, in the south, it's happening in Wales. Like, we tend to have a lot of reoccurrence. So every single mastermind program I've ever ran, I've always been really conscious about the locations of where the members are, so we don't get like overlap or competition in the same area. So that has definitely, you know, shown to me and to the other people around the table that, you know, often problems are not location sensitive. Let me give you an example. So at the moment, on the property landlord / letting side of things, you know, in Nottingham, we are having the most stickiest year filling the student houses. The reasons for that, I believe, in Nottingham are to do with PBSA that's coming up. We're down on international student numbers. Like, it's just a vibe. Like, Nottingham's just not great on the student-let side at the minute. Rental reform's about to kick in. Like, all of these things bake into the mix, right? Fine. So me as a business owner, I think, oh, what are we getting wrong? And I've got a friend's agency also, like, who are really big, marketing some of my rooms for me, and still, like, we'll get inquiries, but then people don't show up, or, you know, they'll show up and then we can't get fit out, like, whatever. It's like, and I'm thinking, it's something we're doing. We must be doing something wrong. Absolutely not. As an example, on my current mastermind, I've got lettings agency owners and owners in the northwest, in Yorkshire, and on the southwest coast, with exactly the same problems as me. Exactly the same problems. So what does that tell me? This is a nationwide issue. It's not that we're doing things incorrectly at B-Space. We don't know what we're doing. Like, I don't need to get in my own way there. This is like, everyone is in the same boat with this. We're all feeling the impacts of things that we cannot control in the environment. So yeah, and I've seen that year on year within the mastermind programs. So again, sort of linking back to point one, there's definitely a comfort in there. And what's good is that when you do have that sort of nationalised kind of issue, how are you dealing with it? What are you doing differently? Are you doing incentives? Did this work? Don't try that. You know, you're then able to have much broader conversation, hopefully get some insight and some support to be able to sort the issue out, as it were. My third point, and this has definitely come out of the past 12 months, even though the Elevate to 8 Mastermind, on reflection, has been a really upbeat program, and everyone's really bonded and been super supportive, I actually think that the problems that we've had to face as business owners, and even worse as property owners, we've had to face have been really bloody tough. And are not going to get any easier anytime soon. I've definitely felt that, across the room. And it's definitely come out of the past 12 months that business is hard to make money out of business. Tough decisions, it feels like that's all we do is just deal with tough decisions and kind of survive. And then to be a property owner at the moment, and to rely on those properties of any sort of kind of income is just, don't do that. Don't do that right now, because that's not where it's at. The big takeaway on the last session, where in terms of like the properties that we own, all of us in the room, is look, let's not look at these properties as cash flow. Let's just look at them as those long-term asset holds that we will see our return on later on down the line. And that is definitely how I'm feeling, how other people are feeling as well. So it's this year business has been tough. Property's definitely been harder, and I say that every year, but it's true. I just feel like it has just got harder and harder. And it's, my lovely co-host from Elevate to 8, Sam Lowney, kind of laughed across the table when we were talking about something, and I think he said something like, it's hard to make money out of business. And I'm like, yep, all of it. We've got multiple businesses within our family, and it's showing up every day, isn't it? Making some decisions, answering some stuff, and just taking steady, progressive steps forward. And I feel like, on reflection of my group, and in that group, there's been some really varied operational businesses in there, from restaurants through to interior design, through to lettings, through to laundrettes, through to commercial conversion, through to service accommodation, just all of it across property and business. We've had so much variance in there, and everyone's pretty much echoed the same. So, guys, I don't want to sit here and be like, yeah, everything's wonderful and perfect, sunshines and unicorns. It isn't at the minute. But again, linking back to point one, people need people, right? And when you can have these conversations, you can absolutely find some comfort in knowing that it's not just you that's going through it. During the Mastermind program, the day that we have together, typically the structure is, we're all together as a group. Each member will do a, 15, 20, 25 minute kind of one-to-group session where they talk about updates, where they're at, what they're struggling with, and then get the insights from myself, from Sam and the rest of the group, and support and answers, and kind of, a bit of an action plan to move forward, really. And because this was our last session this month, we structured the sessions slightly differently. So at the start of the sessions, we asked everybody to jot down 3 words to describe how you have felt about your business over the past 12 months. 3 words to describe how you feel personally over the past 12 months, because that's so important for me to, to get others to acknowledge, because the 2 things work hand in hand without a shadow of a doubt. So if we let don't think about our own self-care and wellness, then we're definitely not going to be running a good business. And then we wrapped up with asking the members, give me 3 words that really describe how you want the next 12 months to be and feel. And what was really interesting from the sessions, something came through in different words, different ways of saying it, that, 2 things came through. So the first thing that came through was something that I've definitely been feeling into probably for the past year or so. And a lot of people around the table are now kind of, really feeling it too, is that bigger does not mean better. This episode of the Be Space podcast is kindly sponsored by the wonderful people at Landlord Furniture Co. Specialising in a huge range of high quality bespoke furniture, Landlord Furniture Co. provides durable pieces designed to last in your rental properties. If you're searching for the perfect furniture, to attract professional HMO tenants or need more resilient pieces for your student accommodations? Considering cost-effective furniture packs for a larger property or looking for something more personalised to elevate your serviced accommodation brand? Whatever your need, Landlord Furniture Co. will craft a solution for you. You can say goodbye to rubbish old flat packs and start investing in a luxurious experience for your tenants. Backed by a 3-year warranty and exceptional customer service, they really are the smart choice for any landlord or property developer out there who takes their properties, their tenants and their business seriously. So ready to transform your spaces with Landlord Furniture Co. and ensure that your investments stand out in the market? Visit Landlord Furniture Co. today at www.landlordfurnitureco.co.uk, or you can head to their showroom, which is in Oldham, or find them over on Instagram at Landlord Furniture Co. Now, let's get back to the episode. I think as a particularly within the property development space, you know, for years we've always looked at the people that are doing big commercial conversions, big, you know, building schemes, big developments and thought, wow, that's where it's at. But actually, is it? Do you really want that headache? You know, some people have got the headache and it's just not what they want, or it's not turning out the way that they would hope. And so bigger does not necessarily always mean better. And it's such a smart mindset to take forward, because when we're making decisions about, should I take on this new opportunity? Should I chase that? This is one of my kind of internal voices, let's say. When I look at something, do I really want that aggravation? Like that, what that's going to actually trickle down to is me spending, you know, more time dealing with issues, less time with the horses and the kids, and like it doesn't align with the lifestyle that I'm trying to build. And obviously, and sometimes, you know, when you create a monster, right, you've got to feed it. That could be one project, 10 projects all at the same time, getting all that wrong. Having too much on could be it could be 6 small projects, but all at the same time. Like, why did you choose that for yourself if you don't have the capacity? So bigger doesn't always mean better. That came out of a lot of people's sessions, you know, when we kind of did the 3 words at the end. So I thought I was really interested, and yeah, I definitely align with that. The kind of next thing that came out of a lot of people's sessions, which really, really aligns with where I'm at personally right now with what I'm doing, was simplicity. Like, simplify was a big, you know, word for a lot of people, because really, do I need to create this monster? Do I need that aggravation? But why do we want simplicity? Well, we want it because actually what is important to us ultimately as business owners, you know, why do we go through the headache and heartache of trying to do what we do? It's because we want a certain lifestyle and we want to live a certain way and enjoy certain things. Typically that means that we want a degree of time to be able to do that, have free time to be able to do that. So sometimes just keeping things simpler, not overcomplicating it, just having maybe 1 or 2 really good product offerings in there makes a ton of sense. Like, an example of that would be, you know, somebody that's got a lettings agency that has always focused on HMOs, and actually is now shifting their focus heavily into the buy-to-let market, because actually that makes so much more sense operationally in terms of, you know, tenant communication, dealing with new tenants coming in, you know, old tenants, like the level of paperwork that you need for HMOs every time someone leaves, every time someone comes, multiple deposits. Also dealing with the knock-on effect of rental reform. And actually, when you look at simplifying and just, you know, focusing on the buy-to-lets, which, yes, make a quarter of the money in terms of management, but are pretty much hands-off, like take up 10% of the time that a HMO would. Actually creating that as a simpler model for somebody that wants to be at home more with the children, wants to do the school run, doesn't want to be in the office every day. Like, these are the decisions that really, really can start to make a lot of sense. In the 5-year period that, you know, I've been running my masterminds for, social media has obviously been a hot topic. It's always a hot topic with me, and and let's think about the past 5 years of Instagram's my stomping ground, right? So let's think about the past 5 years of Instagram. Like, that has just changed, hasn't it? Beyond anything. Before, it was about social interaction, action, and building community. Now it's just a viewing entertainment platform. And I think that those of us that have been around a while, people that have been on the mastermind programs and stuff, are completely over that now. Like, we don't want to be sold to, we don't necessarily feel inspired by it. We definitely don't believe that there's some sort of passive dream out there that maybe we once were sold, because we've been around a while. We know the drill. We know it's actually about putting in the graft and being smart and steady with what you do. You're never going to make giant leaps unless you win the lottery. But over a period of time, you show up, you do it. You will get some decent results. And I think that, on reflection, social media is fed into that as well. There are definitely the more experienced of us that are like, nah, I'm not believing the dream that maybe I once was open to. So yeah, there's definitely some correlation in there with wanting to simplify offers, simplify business models, simplify property portfolios, and what we are typically consuming on social media as, quote marks, inspiration. Just kind of staying on the simplification lines. When I reflect, and this is over the 5-year period as well, of the different people that have been part of the mastermind programs, typically, I would say the average age of somebody maybe from mid 30s to, let's say, mid 40s. This is average. Some are younger, some can be older. And definitely what, on this particular mastermind, the Elevate to 8, what's definitely washed out and connects with the whole idea of simplification is that actually what most people want to be able to do, it's just the real, simple stuff in life. Spend a bit more time at home with children, do the school run, not have the pressure, just keep everything, we're not trying to climb mountains, we're just trying to have a nice life. And that really came out of this month's session, the March session in London. Really, that's what everybody wants. And that is just so beautiful. That is so beautiful and so simple. And we don't have to be on this mad, crazy, social media fueled wheel of bigger is better and more and 10x your business. And I just want to be able to do the schoolroom without any stress. And this is men and women as well, that I'm talking about. I would say the gender split over the years has probably been 60% men, 40% women, which is a lot higher than, most property connected training programs throughout the years. So that's a really good ratio. And we just all want to just have quite a nice, simple, straightforward life, really. Most of us that have got our head screwed on correctly, we're not trying to buy Lamborghinis, we're not trying to be something, have this lavish mental lifestyle. We just want maybe some nice food at the weekend and to just feel relaxed and be able to enjoy the things that we've created around us. And that, over the past 12 months, has come through more and more people. So it's so important that, the businesses that we've got or that we go on to create feed that lifestyle at the end. I can't stress that enough to people. I've seen so many people over the years, me included at points, where it's just like, go, 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 go. And actually, what are you missing out on? And why are you doing what you're doing? And I think it's just, I've talked about on the podcast before about your North Star and about kind of what you're aiming and what you're trying to build. And that is what, on a mastermind program, we always refer back to that, because you get to know somebody so well over a 12-month period. Personally, what makes them tick, what they're trying to do in 5 years' time, and every sort of idea and problem and scenario they've got, you think about that as you're advising and supporting, and other people around the table do as well. So yeah, I would encourage anybody, that's kind of listening to this, to really think about what sort of lifestyle you want to build, because all of those people that you see out there that they've got these businesses and property portfolios, that is exactly what they're doing. And that will definitely help you to curate your choices as you move forward. So yeah, they're kind of my top 5 I think there was five. 5 takeaways from running multiple mastermind programs in business and property over the past 5 years. And let me just tell you lot something. That 5 years has gone by like like the blink of an eye. I can't believe it. I mean, I've loved running mastermind programs because you are dealing with people who typically are more experienced and have more life, experience and property and business and stuff. So it's just been, amazing. And actually, I reflect back on it personally, think, God, I've done all that. I've created those programs for people who have benefited so much, and I've loved it. And I would encourage anyone that has got any sort of business where they've got a consultancy arm. You do some like mentoring, coaching, whatever it is. It doesn't need to be property. It can be, product design. I don't know, like whatever it is in your thing. If you've got a consultancy arm to that business, like even if it feels like a big stretch at the minute, you should absolutely build that consultancy business to a mastermind. Like thinking about my North Star and my consultancy, it's always been my mastermind programs because it's the one-to-many model. You get your more experienced people on there. Like it's a definite for me. And there are a handful of women who have been in my one-to-one world recently. We'll talk about that in a moment. That are very specialised in what they do, and they have started or are about to launch mentoring programs. And start working with one-to-one clients. And I'm already saying to them, mastermind is what you need to aim for. You need to build your consultancy business up to be able to facilitate a mastermind. I just think they're really powerful. Like I could put my hand on my heart and share that and say the benefit of being part of a mastermind program is like something that until you do it, you cannot like share with somebody. Just like, it's so powerful. It's so powerful, and it's so weirdly comforting as well. That's what, even as a facilitator of the programs, that's what you take away. You come away and think, it's not just a me problem, it's an us problem. Therefore, we'll, get through it. We've got the support. So that's kind of me doing a bit of a deep dive really into the past 5 years and the benefits of mastermind program. Moving forward for me, I am doing my all-female one, which is Raw Business, which actually starts in April. And we have our first Raw retreat, which is beginning of May. That is, all-female business owners. And that's really interesting because on there, everyone's got experience. Everyone's already got stuff going on. Most people have typically worked with me at some point in the past as well. So there's that relationship there. But also there are a couple of women on there that have lost direction and to a degree some of their identity, and are actually joining that mastermind program to rediscover where they want to go and be part of a conversation and just table their ideas and just get some feedback and just get some input, because they're solo operators or they may have a small lean team, and actually they just want to be able to be heard and just hear things and just be part of something. So I'm really excited about that. Most people will typically come onto a mastermind program in the past, be like, I want to achieve this thing in 12 months. But actually this time around, there's a couple of people that are like, I'm a bit lost. And actually I'm hoping to really rediscover where I am. So I am absolutely here for that. And I know that it will, that program environment will definitely, everyone, me included, you always come away like you just absorb and learn so much. And then it's what you take forward that really counts. So that's the mastermind wrap up. Oh my God, I don't want the next 5 years to blink. I'll be like nearly 50. So me moving forward then, guys, I feel some changes are afoot for me moving forward with B-Space. I'm coming into year 10 of this brand next year. So that's like a full decade of being online and doing my thing, and doing the HMOs. And all the property, well, there's a lot of property stuff before that, but a good 10 years, really focusing on building out the HMO portfolio and the brand. And you're going to see a bit of a shift in me moving forward, mainly on Instagram. I am going to be showing up, me personally, a lot less. I'm going to be switching my Instagram account to become way more about what it used to be, which is my product, which is my properties. My focus moving forward, continuing my consultancy business with my new all-female mastermind program, but my focus moving forward, the thing that I love and gives me joy, and I just want to get it so right, is my development business. We are currently working on our flips, and I'm loving the process from sourcing. I'm kind of going back. I'm doing all this stuff that I kind of did in the olden times. Back in the day, I'll say back in the day. I'm just really enjoying that, and we're in a really brilliant position with our financial backers on that. So I want to make the absolute most of that, and that is, yes, finding the properties, building them, designing them, all that jazz, but it's also the operational side. These projects have got to be delivered, on time. Every penny's got to be tracked. It's got to be allocated. It's got to I just want it to be a slick operation behind the scenes. So I want to give myself that. So my focus moving forward is my development business. Therefore, my Instagram focus moving forward is going to be my development business. So yeah, what you see from me coming out, less Jade, it's not a bad thing. I'm getting older and wrinklier. Just know that. So less Jade, more bricks and mortar. So I'm excited to share that. I'm absolutely buzzing off designing these properties, because each end user is so different. At the minute, I've got a bungalow, I've got first time buyers, and I've got a second time family home. So everyone's different, and it's like catering to that end user in a B-space way. It just challenges me, and I love it, and I'm really enjoying it. In terms of my consultancy business moving forward, yes, we have my new all-female mastermind, my one-to-one mentoring program in the property side of working with people that are complete newbies wanting to learn the ropes, get into the industry, etc., is no more. So redesigning the property industry will not exist moving forward. I am always on a path of reflection in terms of where I'm at, what gives me joy, what I love to talk about, what I'm into, how I can give them the most value to somebody. And it's just not there anymore in terms of supporting people, from scratch. I don't want to do that anymore. I've done that for years, and I've had so much success with people. And these are the people now that are on my mastermind programs that I am working with, that I've built those relationships with. But yeah, I don't want to do that anymore. So that's not going to be an offer that I take forward. Anyone I do work with on one-to-ones are people that have previously worked with me. So there's already that relationship there. So yeah, that is me sharing some personal insights into what I'm doing. The other side of the McNeil empire, we've got the builder store, which my husband runs the building store. Just opened our second shop. And yeah, we're looking to grow that further in terms of further investment coming into the business, which is exciting. It's been doing some really good numbers, both the stores in Nottingham and Leicestershire. So yeah, that's the thing that we're building to sell later. So that's good. And then we've also got the family construction business, McNeil Construction, which is the foundations of everything that we do, really. And that continues to go from strength to strength in terms of not necessarily growing, but just continuing to produce really high level, new builds, conversions for private clients. So yeah, we've got a lot going on. And then to finish it off, I've also got my eldest, Indy, is about to turn 11 and start secondary school this year. So yeah, when I think about my lifestyle, as I've mentioned in the points discussing about Mastermind, my lifestyle, how I want to live, how I want to spend my time. Indy going up to big school is a huge part of my decision-making process of what I take forward into this year, because I want to just be 120 million% present, available there, the taxi available, just so I can keep my eyes on everything, and just make sure that, she's fully just supported in every way. Because for me, that's like a beautiful privilege that I've got. Because of the businesses that I've built, I'm able to make these tweaks, work on the things that I love, support the people that I just think are mint and are just great. So yeah, some changes afoot, but all really positive. So if you see less of me on Instagram, don't panic. I'm not one of them. I'm not naming no names. I'm not one of them. I'm literally just cracking on, developing and also supporting as well. So listen, thank you if you're still listening now. I appreciate that a lot. Always slide into my IG DMs. I will be there from time to time. But yeah, keep your eyes open, you know. We'll be sharing updates as well about the Raw Business Mastermind, which kickstarts 13th of April. And yeah, I'm really excited about that as well. Really excited about that. I mean, yeah, the location we're going, I'm hosting the spa retreats in, is just beautiful. And I think everybody that's on there will just have the most wonderful time. If you see that and you're interested in joining, like slip into my DMs, because for the right people with the right level of experience, if you fit into our vibe and culture, I'm open to conversation. Anyway, I've got horses to ride, buildings to build. Thank you so much for listening. That's a wrap for another episode of the Be Space podcast. I've been your host, Jade McNeil, property developer, mentor, and business coach. Don't forget to subscribe on your favourite platforms. And until next time, remember, don't believe the hype and always keep it real.